Chernobyl nuclear power plant was considered a symbol of Soviet progress. No one imagined it would soon become the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster. It was meant to power cities and represent human control over atomic energy. No one believed it could fail. No one imagined what kind of threat was waiting. On April 26, 1986, a late-night safety test began. The goal was to check power systems. It seemed routine, but small mistakes were already building up. Operators disabled key safety mechanisms. Rules were bent to keep the test running. The reactor was pushed beyond safe limits, and controls slipped away. Power levels dropped dangerously low. The reactor became unstable. Engineers struggled to regain balance, but every move made things worse. There was a AZ-5 shutdown button. It was meant to shut down the reactor. Operators pressed the shutdown button, but something strange happened. At 1:23 a.m., the reactor exploded. The force tore through the building. The roof was blown apart, and radiation was released instantly. A second explosion followed moments later. The core was exposed. Graphite burned in open air. The disaster escalated beyond control. Firefighters rushed toward the blast, believing it was a normal industrial fire. None wore radiation protection. They had no idea what they were facing. Radioactive clouds drifted far beyond Ukraine. Winds carried them across Europe. Pripyat was finally evacuated. Residents were told it was temporary. They packed lightly and left homes behind, hoping to return soon. But they didn't know that the city is being abandoned forever and they would never return. They left with radiation sickness, thinking it wasn't a big deal. The city was sealed off completely. Homes, schools, and parks were abandoned. Life stopped instantly due to radiation. Pripyat became a ghost city. The recorded radiation level was 30,000 roentgens, which was equivalent to 3 Hiroshima bombs. The city became a living hell. The firefighters started facing radiation sickness. Some received lethal doses within minutes. Their bravery costed them their lives. Hospitals filled with radiation victims. Doctors had little experience with such injuries. Officials tried to control information. The scale of the disaster was hidden. But radiation does not respect borders. Truth began to leak out. Nearby cities heard the news and evacuated to safety. But it was pointless. They had already inhaled the radiated particles. Liquidators were called in. They were given the task to extract radioactive materials from the reactor. The neighboring cities recorded radiation levels around 10,000 to 14,000 roentgens, enough to kill you in a week. Authorities were questioned. How did such a disaster happen? They had no clue, so they remained silent and defensive. Hundreds of thousands were hired to carry out tasks to reduce radiation. They risked their lives to save others. They wore radiation protective gears and started removing debris of the core. These debris were enough to kill them from direct contact. They followed a pattern to prevent massive damage from the radiation. They took turns to go near the core, staying there not more than 30 seconds, while the others away from the core worked more compared to them. But everyone was open to danger. Wildlife returned in unexpected ways. Humans were gone. The land was quiet, but radiation remained beneath the surface. The environment became a warning sign. Plants absorbed invisible poison. Animals adapted or disappeared. Nature was never the same. Radiation sickness worsened rapidly. Skin burns appeared without heat. Organs began failing silently. Many patients did not survive. Chernobyl became a forbidden place, a symbol of human failure. Few could enter safely. Fewer could forget it. A massive concrete sarcophagus was rushed into construction. Speed mattered more than perfection. Cracks formed almost immediately, but it slowed the spread. The reactor was sealed under concrete and steel. Danger was contained, not removed. Radiation would last thousands of years. Survivors faced long-term health damage. Radiation affected generations. Cancer rates increased dramatically. The red forest absorbed deadly fallout. Trees died standing where they grew. Soil became highly contaminated. The land itself was poisoned. Plants absorbed invisible poison. Animals adapted or disappeared. Nature was never the same. Liquidators cleaned the impossible. They worked knowing the risks. Many paid with their health. Some paid with their lives. Radiation alarms rang across Europe. The truth could no longer be hidden. Governments demanded answers. The world watched closely. Nuclear safety rules were rewritten. Global standards were strengthened. Chernobyl changed policy forever. Mistakes would not be repeated. Decades later, a new steel shield was built. The massive dome sealed the reactor. Technology corrected past failures. Today, scientists still monitor Chernobyl. Radiation levels are carefully tracked. The zone remains restricted. The lesson is ongoing. Chernobyl was not just a disaster, it was a warning to humanity. Power demands responsibility, and mistakes can echo forever.